Wagwan, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. This is the weekly outlook for the futures, currencies, and stock indices for the week of December 26th to December 31st. Hope everyone's doing well and are safe and had a great Christmas, and looking forward to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, the end of this week. All right, let's take a look at what's shaping up for the last week of 2021. And if the end on Friday, Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday actually was any indication, last Wednesday, Thursday was any indication of what is to come this week, we should have a very strong ending to 2021 as we move into the 2022 year on Monday. All right, so taking a look at the US dollar, I'm on the weekly time frame, and we ended at on Friday or Thursday at a very, very interesting area, and you can see that we're basically sideways here. So we'll see this a little more so when we drop to the daily, and you can see we're totally in a sideways mode, and we could have a little bit more down before this turns around and continues its merry march to the upside. So short term, I'm seeing a little bit of a pullback, but longer term, US dollar looks like it has a lot of steam left in it to continue to the upside. Okay, let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil also was on quite a march. Recently had a little bit of a downturn in the last few weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of down moves, and now is looking to push back into positive territory as we go into the new year. Of course, winter is just beginning for most in the east, especially in the eastern seaboard and so forth, yeah, so the prices of for crude oil and energy overall is still might rise based on that. So looking on this, we've had a push out of this move here, and we could get a little bit of a pullback in the short term, but again, over the long term, we might continue back to the upside. This could also be a move that could just come back up into this area and then collapse. So short term, looking like we'll have a bit of a pullback, then a push back up, but overall, we could see some strength in the energy sector as the winter progresses. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's see where Bitcoin is here. BTC, there it is, Bitcoin futures. So Bitcoin, quite the push down, and has completed that move. It didn't come all the way down as far as we figured it would. Well, it basically has. It came back down into this support resistance area, and now is pushing back to the upside, back to another support resistance area, and looking to continue its move to the upside. So anyone who, as I said from a week or so ago, Bitcoin coming down into the low 40s would be definitely possibility, and in pretty close, 40, 45 and change. And now it's turning back with some vigor. So that's the daily chart, and you can see that it is indeed going to push back, retracing at least in the short term this current move, so we could come back up into this area of very close to the 60,000 mark with Bitcoin from where it is right now. All right, let's take a look at gold, and we'll go to the weekly on gold. Gold has been inside of a quite a long channel here for a while, and is trying to climb out of it. It's trying to climb to the upside. So let's go to the daily and take a closer look. And again, we can see that it is indeed trying to push. So any breach of this level, and it's a very strong level again, will be gold moving to the upside with some strength. So looking like we're sitting ready for poised for this move and push out of this um, little consolidation area that it's been in for a while. All right, so gold with some strength going into the last week of the year. Okay, let's take a look at the U.S. Dow, the Dow. Okay, so at the end of last week, we had records on the U.S. The U.S. S&P 500, and the Dow was also trying to push. You can see that it's trying very hard, and so going into this week, we could have a final push back up into these areas here, with maybe new highs being broken. But after that, we could be coming back down in a hurry. So. Short term, up. Let's take a look at the S&P, see if it's similar. So on the weekly, again, pushing. This looks very strong, and we're pushing into new territory. We pushed to new highs, and it's sitting right at a critical point. So we could see this push up to new highs as we go into to this week. On the 4 hour, this is what it looks like. Very strong, but again, we still have a little bit of room to come up to these previous highs, and we could be breaking to new highs, but by the end of the week or earlier, and then we could be coming back down again. Okay, so not expecting this to continue, at least not for very long, anyways. Okay, so short-term moves to the upside. Look at the Russell 2000. That's similar. We'll go to the weekly, and it too, it's been in quite a consolidation area, and it dropped back into this zone, and now it's trying to push back out. So again, looking like we should get continued move to the upside going into this week. And it too looks like, yes, we could get that push, but it could be short-lived before we get a pullback. So be aware of that if you're playing these. All right, let's take a look at we looked at the US dollar, and that looked like strength. So if we looked at the euro, let's just see. We have the euro on here. This is the Canadian dollar. Here's the euro. Okay, so the euro future should be pointing to the downside based on a strong US dollar. And indeed, it is. We've been in a downward mode, just like the US dollar has been in upward mode. This has been in a downward mode. And we're consolidating at this point, just like the US dollar. And we could see a little bit of a push back or up first before we continue this drop and continued move to the downside for the euro. Okay, so if I were to draw a trend line, for example, just to give you an idea here real quick, let me just move this over. And okay, so if I drew a trend line from, say, up here, so that's we could possibly see a move back up into this area. It's totally possible in the short term, and then all bets are off for us to go back down. So that's totally probable that we could see. So a drop, that would be a drop in the U.S. dollar first, and then a move back to the upside. So opposite for the euro. All right, so that is, let me see if I can take another look. Let's take a look at Ethereum. No, still the same, still in that same pocket, and looks like it's going to be falling this time around. Yeah, we're heading a little bit weakness here, and we could come down in the short term to retrace this move. That's what it looks like there for Ethereum Litecoin. That's also in a very choppy area here, and looking like some very strong support area all the way around. Let's see, we're on the daily on that. Let's take a look on the weekly just to get an idea of what yeah, it's still, it looks like we still have more downside to come. That's totally possible. One more drop. but we're in a consolidation area at this point on the chart, and we could. Let me just drop one more time frame and take a closer look at this. That will help. Okay, so you can see we're in definitely positively inside of a very challenging area, very, like I say, consolidating. You can see it from the higher time frame, but you certainly see it much clearer from the lower time frame, like the 4 hour. And so we could see a further drop back down to this level before, we're still in this area, and then a move back up before we've dropped finally out of here. But everything looks like it is pointing to a move to the downside still overall. All right, so that's a look at what's setting up for this week. So for the members of the Simple 123, if you're playing the major pairs, keep your eye on the US dollar. That is the catalyst for the other major pairs. Profitable trading to everyone. Have a great week, and be safe out there. We're done now. Thank you.